3,
We're good.
2. We're already live?
We're live.
Well, that sucked. It was like trying to be... Well, they do it. 3, 2. They don't say 1. No, they don't say 1. 3, 2. Or do they do this, or do they do
the thumbs up?
Yeah, okay, we are live, guys. Welcome to the show. This is a prototype. We're evolving. Are we? Aren't we evolving?
We are salamanders.
We are salamandering our way forward in the show universe, getting more comfortable in some type of format, and eventually I want to do a show, right? Like a little bit more of a production. This is live, obviously, and it's very off the cuff, very little preparation, but eventually I want to do a show, and this is like a prototype of this, getting used to a few different elements. Maybe you notice it, maybe you won't, I don't know. But we're going to call this prototype Uncommon Sense with Mike the Cop. Guys, common sense is all too uncommon these days, or at least it's uncommon to be spoken out loud on issues that matter. So that's what I want to do, is talk about common sense response to things. And we're going to talk about 3 stories today. Have you heard all the hubbub, producer?
About the guy. I don't know about the MS-13 gang.
That's the hubbub. That's the hullabaloo.
I saw that you shared a post about that kid that got kicked out.
The 30-year-old. He's not a kid. He's 30 years old.
That's
have you heard of the scuttlebutt around President Trump?
No, I have not.
And MS-13.
Nope.
What's wrong with you? Don't you follow the news?
No.
But you did run 2 miles today, so I'll give you that.
I did.
Yeah, he's looking svelte over there. You're looking svelte, buddy. Good job. I am not one to be politically correct. I am one to be patriotically correct. I love this country. I love common sense. So Donald Trump, President Trump, he recently was at a news conference, meeting with some sheriffs, and I appreciate, by the way, all of you chatters in here, all of you live viewers. Thank you very much. I'm not going to be able to see them all. The super chats do stand out, and the UPP, the UP squared, underpaid producer, he always makes me mention them. So thank you for the support that way. Appreciate that. President Trump went on record as calling members of the MS-13 gang animals. The horror. So here's what he says in context. So let's take a look now. UPP, if I click on this, they see that now?
Yep.
Okay, we're just going to let this roll. I want you to hear what President Trump said, I think like 6 or 7 days ago.
Do you want your face shown?
I don't care if my face is anywhere.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Why would there could be an MS-13 gang member I know about? If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before. And because of the weak laws, they come in fast. We get them, we release them, we get them again, we bring them out. It's crazy. The dumbest laws, as I said before, the dumbest laws on immigration in the world.
Boom. All right, so that is Trump's take on MS-13. Cody, thank you. Did I change my lighting? Oh, super chat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we have our sounds on.
I should turn that off.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
I need to turn that off.
No, lighting's exactly the same. Maybe I'm just sick. I don't know. But yeah, cheers to you.
It's just a contrast to Orange
And
Donald.
this is pure vodka. I couldn't go live with water. Too nervous. The other things that are on the agenda, we're going to talk about Trump. We're going to talk about the greatest law enforcement speech I've heard in a long time, and then we're going to talk about this 30-year-old turd that won't leave home. That's on the agenda. I didn't get to all those details. So here's the deal. Trump calls the context of what he is talking about are gang members of MS-13. These sheriffs were basically complaining to President Trump at this meeting that says, unless even gang members of MS-13, guys, MS-13 is one of the most vile and violent gangs that exists. You think like the Bloods and the Crips who do drive-bys are bad? These people love to literally carve out body parts of children, rape them, kill them. We're not talking about just people they got beef with. We're talking about this is the kind of gang that will send a message to people not complying in a neighborhood with their wishes. Do your own research. MS-13 is absolutely disgusting. They are a vile group of animals. Now, I'm not going to catch as much flack as President Trump because I'm not as popular. Yet. One day.
Ever.
No, I'll run when he's done in 6.5 years. I'm in. Now, what do people respond to this? They take advantage of it. And I'm going to talk about why it's good to call them animals. But here is Nancy Pelosi's take. Do you got that pulled up? You got Pelosi up there?
I can if you.
Yeah, we need Pelosi
if you
up
want
there.
her pulled up there.
Well, I don't really want her face on there. She's hideous.
There you go.
But listen to what she said.
An older
This
Karen?
comes from Politico. When the President of the United States says about undocumented immigrants, here's our first problem, folks. He wasn't talking and calling undocumented immigrants animals. He was talking about MS-13, the gang. This is what's wrong with Nancy Pelosi. She's too old to hear or too dumb to want to listen. These are not people, these are animals. Okay, that's what he said. You have to wonder, does he not believe in the spark of divinity? Oh, you want to talk about the spark of divinity? She also supports abortion. So do you not believe in the spark of divinity? You old bitch. Was that too rough?
Yeah.
Hag? You hag?
Which?
This is a problem with live.
Which?
I can't bleep myself.
Yeah.
So she wants on the one hand to criticize Donald Trump for his lack of belief in a spark of divinity, but she wants to slaughter millions of babies. Whatever. To each their own, I guess. In the dignity and worth of every person, these are not people, these are animals from the President of the United States. Every day you think you've seen it all, along comes another manifestation of why their, I'm assuming Republicans, policies are so inhumane. Calling people animals is not a good thing, she said before ending the news conference and walking out. And that came from Politico. All right, we can get rid of that.
Thank you for the super
We can get
chat.
rid of that
Arctic.
knockoff Dumbledore piece of shoe leather off my screen. Enough of her.
Hey, boss, it's a hard topic to cover, but you cover it, man. You cover it very well, non-biasedly. Hope to see you in the Discord.
Thanks,
I'll
Arctic
be
Dog.
there.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm always. I haven't been in the Discord for a couple of weeks. I've been busy, but so here's why I'm telling you, why it's good that Donald Trump, President Trump, is willing to call MS-13 members animals. It's because their behavior is completely unacceptable to humanity. So to just call them bad dudes isn't enough. We can't justify that kind of evil in humanity. In a sane, civil society of humans, that is animalistic behavior. And they don't deserve to be called people. When their entire existence is for the purpose to dehumanize and violate other humans. These aren't people who have made some mistakes. These are people whose stated purpose is to rape and kill. That is animalistic. And if we can't call out that kind of behavior, the fact that anyone would defend this type of behavior in any way, shape, or form is mind-blowing. But Nancy, shoe leather, Dumbledore wannabe Pelosi is all about that. So have at it. God forbid, if you voted for her, shame on yourself, man. Look at what you've gotten. You've gotten someone that wants to defend the humanity of MS-13 and lie that President Trump was calling all undocumented immigrants animals. He didn't. So, common sense there, folks. All right, moving on. I came across recently, probably, 2 or 3 weeks ago now, we read this speech,
Yes.
and
But we've just been busy.
we've been busy, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, my favorite speech of all time, maybe of all speeches, is "In the Arena" by Teddy Roosevelt. It is one of my favorites. And Teddy Roosevelt was a police commissioner in New York City. That's hands down probably my favorite speech of all time. But I came across this one, and it's rare to find a speech that is pro-law enforcement that is really, really good. And so rather than me just tell you about it, I'm just going to read it. The occasion came when the Honorable Associate Justice William Bedsworth, he's from the 4th District Court of Appeal, made a compelling case at the grand opening of a new criminal justice training center at Golden West College in Huntington Beach, California. And this says on Law Enforcement Today, his speech perfectly captures how today's law enforcement officers have to be vastly more equipped than their counterparts in the past. Matt Hopner, thank you very much. The world and his style will make you proud. Now, I'm going to kind of zone out from the comments, guys, and we'll address any super chats at the end. But this is a slightly edited text of Justice Bedsworth's speech, and I just want to share it with you because it's so good and it gives such good insight as to what's going on in the world of cops today. So here we go. I'm just going to dive in and read this, and then we'll get to the last story and we'll wrap up the stream. I know those of you in uniform probably feel like you've already had to listen to me too much in your career. I have both good news and bad news. The good news is that they've only given me 10 minutes. The bad news is they've given me 10 minutes. I've been given the honor of joining all of you today, and I want to use those 10 minutes to make some points about the need filled by this spectacular facility. I was born in 1947. I was a boy in the 1950s. John Murphy, my next-door neighbor and godfather, was an LAPD sergeant. His equipment consisted of a .38 special revolver, a billy, a flashlight, and a pair of handcuffs. The people who are trained here will be equipped with a 9mm semi-auto 14-round sidearm. They will carry multiple magazines, double handcuffs, a tear gas canister, a baton, a handheld radio, a taser, a flashlight, a voice-activated audio recorder, a body camera, a tactical knife, and a hidden backup pistol. In their trunk will be a shotgun, a patrol rifle, and a patrol bag full of report forms, first aid kits, and a dozen other items John Murphy never imagined. They will be expected to know how and when to use all of those things. Sergeant Murphy had been trained to drive and to shoot. He had not learned artificial respiration. He knew nothing about CPR or the use of a defibrillator. He never saw an upper body protection vest. He never used a computer to check a record or registration. Those tools and the expertise necessary to use them were science fiction to him. His knowledge of search and seizure law was rudimentary. Mapp versus Ohio had not yet been decided, so very little evidence was being excluded on the basis of Fourth Amendment violations. He did not know the Miranda warnings because Miranda had not been decided until 1966, the year he retired. He knew nothing about detention law because Terry versus Ohio was not decided until 2 years after that. He did not know the rights of high school students, how they differed from the rights of adults, because nobody knew that until the Supreme Court told us in TLO versus New Jersey in 1985. The men and women who go through their training here will be able to debate the finer points of all those court decisions and dozens of others and hold their own with any lawyer. They have to be able to do that to do their job correctly. Sergeant Murphy knew almost nothing about crime scene prevention or trace evidence or blood spatter interpretation, fingerprints lifted with chemical fumes, obtaining evidence from cell phones. Cell phones themselves were all things none of us even imagined when the first academies began going through the facilities here at Golden West in 1969. When this college opened in the 60s, the letters DNA were juxtaposed only on monogram sleeves. I was actually the first judge to rule on DNA evidence in Orange County, and that was in the late 80s. Law enforcement changes hourly, folks. It is no easier to keep up with the changes in law enforcement than it is to keep up with changes in medicine or physics or biology or ballistics or pharmacology, all of which, by the way, are the things the modern police officer must know a lot about, must learn and relearn constantly. Do you think that's an exaggeration? Those of you not in uniform, ask yourself about the changes in the last 8 years. How much did you know about methamphetamine in 2010? How much did you know about AR-15s 5 years ago? How much did you know about sniper scopes and bullet trajectories before the Mandalay Bay massacre? How much did you know about opioids 2 years ago? How much did you know about bump stocks and high-capacity magazines a year ago? Every day, Every time a cop picks up a paper or watches the news, she learns about something else she will have to know about probably before her next shift. The amount of education and re-education our police must assimilate every day is staggering. It requires literally, and I emphasize, I mean this literally, not figuratively, it requires literally more daily re-education than a doctor or a lawyer ever needs to do his or her job. And even when a peace officer applies that re-education, he or she has to be a psychologist, a pharmacologist, a teacher, a counselor, a lawyer, an EMT, a badass superhero, probably during one shift. It has always been a tough job. Long before anyone had ever heard of Stephen Clark or could find Ferguson, Missouri on a map, law enforcement was a brutally difficult way to make a living. Why? Well, for one thing, the Constitution, our police take an oath to defend, was devised by rebels. Our founding fathers were protesters. Think of the Boston Tea Party, the Bunker Hill Massacre. Those were protesters. They were men who had been oppressed and subjugated, and they were determined it was never going to happen again. So when they won the revolution, they instituted a system designed to restrain their new government, designed to make sure that they would never be oppressed by the government again. The whole system is set up to exalt the individual and to limit the government. Folks, the United States of America is the only place on the planet where in a case called Miranda versus the state, Miranda wins. That's what the Revolutionary Army fought and died for, and that's what our police protect. When you represent a government in a system like that, you have to know it's going to be difficult, and it is. It is as difficult a job as there is on the planet. Imagine doing what you do. I don't know what your job is. Whatever your job is, imagine doing it with people throwing rocks at you, people spitting on you, people trying to kill you, and then think about what their job description is. Their job description, these people in uniform, is putting your life on the line every day for strangers, dealing with the mentally ill, mediating domestic violence, counseling child molestation victims, consoling the bereaved, pulling people out of burning vehicles, chasing psychopathic 15-year-olds down blind, dark alleys, knowing they have a gang and gun, but they don't yet have a conscience. What kind of person takes that job? I don't understand it. I've never understood it. My jobs have required me to study cops for 37 years. I've worked with them, I've played ball with them, I've drunk beer with them, I've laughed with them, I've cried with them, I've celebrated with them, and I've suffered with them, but I have never for a single moment understood them. I cannot imagine what kind of person does all the things they do for Society of Strangers, 3 million of us in this county, who they will never meet, but for whom they are always committed, always there, always ready. It is not a job, folks. It's a calling, and if you haven't been called, you can't understand those who have been. So I no longer try to understand them. I just thank the Lord for continuing to turn them out, and I suggest you do the same. And as long as I'm giving thanks, I thank all of you for supporting them. I thank all of you for supporting the endeavors like this spectacular new facility. I thank you for making sure they have the training and support they need for this complicated job. I thank you for continuing to encourage our best young people to take up this work. Thank you. So, there we have that speech.
We got one super chat, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. By who?
$5 Australian by Ayla, I think.
Thank you. All right. What judges this? Again, that is Honorable Associate Justice William W. Bedsworth from the 4th District Court of Appeal. That is who that was. That is not my words. Those are not my words. Those are his. I just wanted to read the speech because it was super encouraging and inspiring to me. And so, yeah, there we go. That's the awesome speech. Now, the last story is a 30-year-old Michael Rotundo, who isn't quite as rotund as his name would suggest. He's a 30-year-old man who lives at home, and his parents are trying to kick him out. They're like, get out. You're 30 years old. Get a job. Do something with your life. And he didn't want to leave.
For reference, I moved out at 18.
For reference, the underpaid producer, UPP, he is out of the house.
I moved out
18.
The month I graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gone. I don't tolerate mooching. No. You gotta be on your own. You gotta be a man or a woman.
You're gonna watch
All
the
right.
video, or you're just gonna drink some water?
I'm gonna drink some water. Now I'm gonna play this video. So this goes all the way to the state Supreme Court, by the way. This guy fights. That's how bad he wants to stay at home in his mom's basement. Mom! The meatloaf! I almost nunchucked you. You don't even know. One of the greatest thing. No, we're not hunting Karens today. I did hear that there is a new Karen, again in New Jersey. Well, I'm going to be looking into it, guys. But let's take a look at Michael Rotundo, who decided that he wants to try to like clone NES games for his phone and sit in his mom's dark basement rolling doobies instead of being productive member of society. Here's what he has to say.
Mr. Rotundo, I have to compliment you.
Whoa.
6 months to the homeowners for support.
Come on.
6 months to seek removal required to serve
Here
a
we go.
6-month notice to quit onto me to seek removal of myself from the premises. And the reason for this is because anyone who is not a tenant, who is a family member, who is depending on the homeowners for support.
Why are you depending on your homeowners for support? Why are you depending on mom and dad at age 30? You know what? Well, I will give him this. He's at least saved money on haircuts. So maybe he is saving, maybe he is setting aside some cash because he's not shaving. It looks like he fell asleep in his mom's basement under the mattress, woke up 2 years later, and they were like, you got to go. And he's like, yeah, but I just found out. What are we doing?
Require 6 months to basically procure the means so that they may support themselves on their own.
Now, Mr. Rotundo, I have to compliment you that you've done a lot of legal research. I can
It
tell.
was a brief search of the internet for the removal of family member at home.
So the judge says, like, yeah, I'll give it to you. You really looked some stuff up here, did some research. He's like, oh, it was just a Google search. Of course it was a Google search. You're sitting there in crusty white underwear that hasn't been changed for 2 days, and you're looking on Google for how to stay at your parents' house. Of course it was easy. Or like you looked it up. It was on Google. This judge, he actually reads books. That's where he learns the law. This guy, this Rip Van Rotundo, is sitting in his mom's basement. He's got Cheeto dust on his thighs. He's got a jar of half-empty peanut butter and a dog downstairs, and this is his life, and he won't leave home, and he does a Google search. That's all he did.
Returns 2 websites, each citing the case that I cited. and
This
that's
judge's
all
face is priceless. He's just looking at him like, dude, you're a douche. You're literally a douche. Literally, you could be used in a shower with your mom. You douche.
It doesn't take, it took minutes. No, I don't see why.
To the super chat.
Wait a little bit for me to leave the house.
Well, I don't want do you want to have a hearing on this petition? I can do that forthwith.
I don't know if
That was a big word, Your Honor. I couldn't find that one on the Googles.
that what that means.
Forthwith means wait for the
Not that hearing, the hearing.
What does he say afterwards? I haven't seen this. Let's skip forward.
Honestly, I'm not.
Airbnb.
The judge ruled.
Well-
The judge ruled that he would have to move out. Duh. Let me explain how this works. Hey, turd, you're 30. I'm your mom and dad. Get out. Well, you can't make me leave. Yes, I can. It's my house. Get out.
Honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it ended. I mean, it seems to be.
I'm very curious how much longer I can live at home. You see, I invested in Bitcoin and I lost it all, and I'm just trying to recoup on my investment, and this is harsh treatment.
That. I mean, it seems.
This guy has the intelligence of a slice of bologna. Literally, he can't think of what to say.
I don't really know what happened in there. I just know that I'm hungry, and now my mom doesn't make me sandwiches anymore. The judge said something about forthwith, and I was very confused.
I was talking about the hearing.
It's not easy being 30 and living at home.
Seems to me like I should be provided, like 30 days or so, because generally you get 30 days after you're found.
It seems to me I should be provided 30 days. Bro, you were provided 30 years! 30 years! Now you want 30 days? Oh my goodness, man. Oh, if I was
Careful, you're peeking your mic there.
I'm sorry I'm peeking. What would happen to you if I was like, hey, it's time to move out? What a weenie. Thanks, James. Yeah, he's a weenie. James Earl Jones.
I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think your clothes would be on the front lawn?
Oh, man. You need to disable that sound.
I don't know how to disable that sound.
I need to teach you how to work the...
You're the one that put that sound in
Anyways.
Anyway, what do you think would happen if you tried to do that?
And I said no, you would probably throw all of my stuff outside, or
I'd put it in the garbage,
or make me sleep in the garage.
I wouldn't make you sleep. I wouldn't let you sleep in the garage. No,
yeah,
I'd throw. I wouldn't.
Bad.
I wouldn't even put your stuff in the front yard. If I said, "Hey, it's time, son, you got to move out," and you were like, "No, I'm not moving out. This is my parents' house. I can stay here."
We need to make a list for male Karens.
Yeah, he is kind of a male Karen.
What would we call a male Karen?
Mike Rotundo.
But you can't.
I don't know.
You can't say Mike though, because then it'll be.
I would just literally drive all your stuff down to the elementary school dumpster and toss it in the dumpster. Let's see what else. What else is? What else does he have to say?
Vacant premises, so I'm expecting.
Whoa! No, look at how he looks right now.
My flowing locks. Hold on, let's
a little bit.
This, he's getting serious.
Play it in like 0.25 speed.
How do I change the speed?
In the bottom right.
Bottom
it's a YouTube
right.
video.
Settings, speed, 1.5?
1.25.
0.25?
Yeah.
I need 30 days notice, Mom. I don't even have time to wash my hair before I move out.
It's like a...
Mom. Oh! He's cross-eyed! He's like, oh, he's gonna put my hair in a bun.
That's what happens when you have the IQ of a slice of bologna.
He is a slice of bologna. What?
Where's
my mom? Where's my mom?
Mom,
can you put my hair in a ponytail?
Somebody said fabulous.
Can we put my hair in a ponytail, Mom?
This man looks like if Fabio got turned into a piece of bologna.
We're gonna tie my hair up.
I bet his mom bought him that suit for the court date.
The dad was like, don't buy him a suit. But, dear, the poor boy is going to court and doesn't have a suit. This is why we do this all the time, Margaret. Gosh. Literally, his parents haven't had any sort of physical relationship since he was born. He ruined their entire lives.
Because how it sounded.
Why is he doing his hair wall?
Because he's 30 years old and lives at home.
It sounded kind of like that too, but that's just so ridiculous.
It's just so ridiculous.
So you have a wet business?
Yeah, the court is ridiculous, pal. Okay, you can just bring me back up.
Yeah, you're just gonna show all of
our
information.
What
our
information?
Stream. You can give away our stream key if you're not careful.
What did I do?
I was showing the screen.
Why did you do that?
You have to tell me that you're switching first.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm switching.
All right. We didn't give away the stream key. It's just...
Thank goodness. That's like the nuclear codes. All right, guys, we are at 28 minutes. I'm going to wrap up. Any other final thoughts? I bet he vapes. Well, of course he vapes. He definitely has, like, some form of, like, blueberry liquid that he vapes down in the basement. He looks like most defense attorneys. Yeah, Richard is the male Karen.
No, we gotta...
I feel like we gotta have that.
We have to come to a situation with a male Karen.
With a male, we got to have a male Karen. We got to find a male Karen, guys. Email me at realmikethecop@gmail.com if you find any male Karens.
A male Karen is a Marin.
We'll figure that out. But there you have it.
You need Kermit the Cop to be a thing.
I've got a good Kermit
Do you
voice
know why
is
I
not
stopped
difficult.
you?
Kermit voice is not difficult to do.
Tell me on the doll where he hurt you.
I don't.
Oh man.
Exhibit A. Exhibit P for piggy.
Okay. Anyway, please, what? Please,
Discord.
what? Discord, please. Yes, go to Discord.
or here I'll
Uh,
copy and paste this.
yeah, we're bad at self promotion.
Nope, wrong thing.
I
pressed
can't
the
do
wrong
I
buttons
can't do
here.
Elmo. Can you do Elmo?
I don't know. No, I don't even remember what Elmo sounds
He
like.
laughs. That's all I remember. Like,
No, he goes.
I don't know.
He's like
Mr. Noodle, Mr. Noodle. I'm Elmo. Hey, that's it. I'm Elmo. Oh, I did it.
dude.
And with that, that is today's episode of Uncommon Sense with Mike the Cop. Thank you all who support me with the super chats. Check out the t-shirt place below, Patriotically Correct from Relentless Defender. If you're looking for pre-workouts, you're looking for protein, check out Milcore Supplements. These guys are partnering with me to help make these things a reality. So, that's it. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that I get more views because I'm struggling. Okay, bye.